Hey there, people. It's Cursed Curator here with.
Hey Dawes, and today we are finally talking about some more movies and music.
Yes, it has been a very long month, and this is because we've been focusing more on the actual channel, and we have done a lot less streams because, so for example, our game streams not a thing anymore. Our magazine streams not a thing anymore because they're now all converted to video, so you can watch it on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, and to be honest, it you know it makes our content a little bit more digestible because I know a lot of people who do enjoy our stuff, like our friends. It's kind of hard for them to watch hour-long streams every week.
Yep. And I will leave our YouTube channel in the comments. It'll be a fun time. This video will also be uploaded over to YouTube eventually. The chat. Oh, wow. We got a whole new subscriber. Ooh.
Oh shoot!
It's
Oh shit! We're 18
18.
now.
Yep.
Look at us. We are internet famous. But I guess the first question I always ask at every episode: what was your expectation before getting into the films of 1935?
I thought they'd all be literal dog shit like the last year. Well, the last year wasn't that bad. It was okay.
Last year was mid. 1932 was ass.
With these years, I really don't expect too much because they are still in their formative years. Okay, they're similar enough to modern movies in their structure, sure, but not it's not all there yet. It's missing something.
I always joke that old movies are like two people in a living room arguing about morality, and there's a lot of that here.
um.
Yeah.
To basically make sure people understand what we're doing here is that this episode and all further episodes, unless we decide to include a new thing, and we'll just like do a stream of it once with this other content we're doing, the movies and the music, and it'll be on its own. So this episode and all future episodes for probably forever will include music and movies. That is it. Unless we want to include a whole new thing, we're doing a little thing with it. It's experimenting.
Mm, yeah.
This is a quick little thing. Is we'll include TV shows one day, and I'm very excited because there is a segment I want to do involving the production codes. Because production codes are literal ass. Well, no, it's a very good thing. The problem is if you're smart, then you know a lot of episodes or TV shows are out of order.
Oh, I don't want to think about that. I don't want to think
So
about that.
let's
Anyways.
let's say episode one is it's called 0.1 for its production code, but it doesn't actually. So it's not actually the first episode. It's released on the fifth episode instead of being the first. Because one key thing with a lot of these productions is that they realize their pilot is actually ass, but the other episodes are actually good. And that's a way they do it. Also for okay, more of a for modern day people is holidays also impacted. So we want our Halloween episode, but they're like, oh shit, it's not until like season two. We'll just slide it in here anyway.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yep. So our first movie of today is Alice Adams.
It was bad.
It was okay.
Yeah. Alice Adams. Yeah, I'll just read the letterbox page because it has a very concise description. In the lower middle class Adams family, father and son are happy to work in a drugstore, but mother and daughter Alice try every possible social climbing stratagem despite snubs and embarrassment. When Alice finally meets her dream man, Arthur, mother nags father into a risky business venture and plans to impress Alice's beau with an upscale family dinner. Will the excruciating results drive Arthur away? Uh, I don't think so, right?
Um. This film, I do recall the actual rich guy actually like ultimately ending up with her.
Yeah,
That's the whole thing.
I I assumed because I could guess where the movie was going.
Yeah, it's something that's so it's a very generic plot line, but it's something that hits for so many people. That's why that trash still exists even today. Um,
At least you can acknowledge it's trash.
well, yeah, it's romance. Almost all romance-based things are trash.
Can you tell you're aromantic?
Well, that and it's actually quite literally trash. Any person that like reads these romance novels will say, "Oh, it's trash," but I love it anyway.
That's fair. Uh, are you referring to me? Because I'm one of those people.
It's something that's so obvious though. These are made for people that clearly they have time on their hands and they don't have much of a romantic life going on, or they do, or they're just bored. They want something that can fill that itch. That's an itch for people. For me, not so much. I'm like, oh, it's generic, and I've seen this 1,000 times. In fairness, this is probably something still fresh and new for at least the damn movie scene. Actual books did this freaking forever.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Oh god.
I thought the film was decent. It follows the usual tropes of this type of damn thing, which is fine. The film had a decent amount of music, which I actually enjoyed. I didn't care much for the dance stuff. They did a little bit of that. That's okay though.
This was a strange movie. I can barely remember this film, and it wasn't that long ago I watched it. It's just kind of rough.
Now, uh, beyond the it's the obvious that it overcomes that whole really weird like thing where people just assume that if the person's rich they won't like you, which is a really weird thing. But I get it. I get it. But I also they're just people. And people have this weird thing where they're rich, would have clearly they're completely different. They would never love me. Insert girl who's just basic in every damn way.
It's almost like people don't like basic people.
And her most defining trait is that
Mostly
she's
girls.
poor.
Yeah, yeah, that's kind of trashy.
Yeah, that's why I call most of these romance based things trash because the character is literally a caricature of, well, the character is poor, hence now that's her whole character. She doesn't have anything going on. In some cases, she does, but it's a different
A
thing.
30s movie being surface level? Never.
And don't worry, modern music is the same damn thing. There's not much change here. There's not much growth in the romance genre right now. I think about it.
I don't know if there's much room you can grow.
There's a lot of ways you can take it. There's a lot you can do. They just choose to choose it. They do damn fucking old fucking reliable. It ain't broken. Don't fix it. Which I mean, fair.
That is literally Hollywood in a nutshell. Anyway, we're just talking about Hollywood now. Do you have any other thoughts on
we have trivia. We have trivia.
Oh, shocking though. This movie has trivia.
A lot of trivia, actually. In fact.
Oh my god.
Though Betty Davis won the 1935 Academy Award / Oscar for Dangerous 1935, beating out Katharine Hepburn and Alice Adams, Davis was noted for saying more than once that she did not deserve this award of the year, and that the one who did was Katharine Hepburn.
I agree with her.
Now, there was a disagreement among Katharine Hepburn and George Stevens about the post-party scene. The script called for Hepburn to fall into the bed and break into sobs, but Stevens wanted her to walk into the window and cry. While the rain outside, Hepburn could not produce tears required, so she asked Stevens if she could do the scene as scripted. Stevens yelled fiercely at Hepburn, which did the trick, and the scene was filmed the way Stevens wanted. Hepburn's tears were real. I mean, the scene actually hit harder with the window. So, I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes you just gotta cry like a bitch for the scene to go good. You got to do it. Katharine Hepburn always viewed Alice as one of her favorite, personal favorite roles to play.
Mm.
And finally, Katharine Hepburn credits director George Stevens for her change in the public reception by helping her and Alice Adams portray more warmth and vulnerability than she had ever shown previously. So clearly, there was no hard feelings. It had to happen for her character arc to grow.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not a big Katharine Hepburn guy.
I dig her, and I actually want to view her in a Legend lens. Speaking of Legend lens, I have to slide in here. Expect that bad boy on Wednesday on the YouTube channel.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh boy.
What did you give Alice Adams?
Honestly, for despite how trashy and generic it is, I give it a 7.
I gave it a 4. I hope you understand that rating.
You know what's funny? I actually can fall in line with the this consensus on IMDb.
What's the consensus? Oh, 7?
It's a 6.9, so I'm a 0.1 above the consensus.
I I think that's acceptable.
So overall, it really depends on who you are as a person, but I guess for any film. But next up is it's another woman name, Anna Karenina. Karenina?
Harina is how they say it in the film.
Eh.
Also, a small correction. I know I'm being that guy right now, but it's pronounced Bet Davis, not Betty
That's the
Davis.
book I want. Now you know.
But yes, Anna Karenina. This is a bio picture. I think, or
Yeah.
it's historically like framed. I don't think it's actually historical.
It
Um,
stars my favorite bitch, Greta Garbo.
I do like me some Greta Garbo.
Yep, it's the married Anna falls in love with Count Vrosky, despite her husband's refusal to grant a divorce, and both must contend with the social repercussions. I love this type of shit because it's perfect.
I thought the film was incredibly dull.
I loved it because it really, especially for this time period, and I mean, by the way, all human history, by the way, is adultery is not poggers. And this is a different
Shocking.
this is a different time period. Well, I can't say different because it's still even today. You can't in many places you can't just get a one-sided divorce. You need permission in this time frame to get that divorce, and that ain't happening.
Yeah.
Yep, and I think Frederick March did so well in his role. Oh, as the Count, literally perfect.
What's funny about this film is that this is a remake of a previous film. I think it was Silent. Um, I don't remember if we watched it on the show before, but
Probably not.
I have seen it, and I didn't like it the first time. I didn't like it this time. It was all right. It wasn't terrible. It was just kind of no. It was pretty awful actually. No, it was pretty ass. This was melodrama at its most melodramatic.
Uh, so I have some quotes. These are some
Oh no.
lovely quotes. Greta Garbo initially formed a very close relationship with Freddie Bartholomew until the 11-year-old asked her for an autograph for his uncle one day. After that, their relationship was strictly professional for the rest of his life, and he was dismayed at suddenly losing her friendship.
No.
Aware that her co-star Frederick March was notorious for producing his leading ladies, Greta Garbo reportedly wore garlic under her clothes and purposely had bad breath in order to stave off his advances. Is he a fucking vampire?
Maybe you don't know.
The beginning of his film is one of the most memorable and famed tracking shots in film history. For nearly a whole minute, the camera beginning at the end of a very long table full of a feast draws back and back, pulling the viewer down the center of the table through candlesticks, dinnerware, plates of meat, vegetables, breads, roasted pigs, pheasants, and other delicacies, until it stops at the other end, showing the entire feast end to end in one shot, all while the Russian military men rejoice with a Russian folk song. Mmm.
Ah.
Yep, Ronald Coleman was offered the role of Count Vrosky. Realizing that it was Greta Garbo in the picture, he doubled his asking price and took himself out of consideration. Got greedy.
It'd be like that.
So, I gave this film easy 8. I enjoyed the fuck out of it.
Okay.
I dare say it's one of
Uh,
the Greta Garbo's one of her best films.
I gave it a 3. I thought this was some melodrama Hollywood trash. I'm so sorry.
Me. Shit. So, next up on our list is The Bride of Frankenstein.
Well, we finally found a film I liked.
Fucking finally.
This is a sequel to Frankenstein, as you would imagine, where the title character does not show up until the final 15 minutes.
Hmm.
Actually, final 5 minutes. Not much of this movie actually focuses on the bride, but it's more so just a sequel to Frankenstein, where we get to see Frankenstein be a silly little man and make friends.
Hmm. So,
Yeah.
pull this up. Bride of Frankenstein. So, I enjoyed the film, and I'm not one of the people that some reason say that the film is better than the original. It is not. I do think it deserves a place, though, amongst the OG monsters. Although, I don't think it lives up to the same rep as the others. For example, of course, Dracula, Homeboy Drac, of course, the Invisible Man, and one that's not does not get enough respect and love. Oh, fuck me.
I love the Invisible Man, as you know. He's my favorite of the monster movies.
I love the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. It's literally one of the best, and I never understood why it did not get the damn love it deserved. It's literally one of the best. Mm.
I think it just got overlooked, and hopefully we can bring more people to enjoy it, because I think it is definitely one of the best monster movies, despite being like the first one.
Yup. Oh boy. Let's see what the loveliness of the the trivia gives us today, because there's a lot of trivia. Who knew about this film?
It's such a famous film.
Cinematographer John Mescal's drinking had become so problematic during the film that the studio had to provide a car to get him safely to and from set. James Whale liked that he worked fast and really wasted time fussing with acetyl camera and lighting hardware. He was still very good at his job even when drunk.
Oh.
He's one of those people that can just work really good even when drunk. Twin.
That's kind of terrifying.
All he's doing is just filming. It ain't nothing.
Yeah, that's fair.
Jack P. Pierce altered the makeup of Frankenstein's monster from this film's predecessor to reflect that he survived the mill's fire at the end of Frankenstein in 1931, with some flesh burns with much of his hair singed off. I liked that. This is clearly... So, I guess in this case, this film is a sequel and not just a spin-off. Good.
Yeah, no, it's a full sequel, yeah.
Perfect. I like that. Marilyn Harris, who played Maria, the girl the monster accidentally kills in the original Frankenstein 1931, appears uncredited as another young girl. She is the leader of a young group of schoolgirls who encounters the monster as he runs away from the blind man's burning house. Director James Whale deliberately gave her a one-word line, "Look!" so she would be paid more by the studio as an actor with a speaking role instead of an extra.
Aw, that's nice.
Based. Colin Clive's alcoholism had worsened since the first film, but James Whale did not recast the role because his hysterical quality was necessary for the film.
Okay.
I like that. Like it a lot. So how would you rate this film?
I gave it an 8.
I gave it a 7.
I might have to adjust my rating, but because depending on what I gave the original Frankenstein, but I liked it.
Ooh boy. Who else we got on this list? Captain Blood, the Bloodmeister.
Pirate movie. It was an adventure movie for sure.
So I love anything involving pirates. So I'm actually getting a biased score just because.
Yeah, I'm looking at my review. Yeah, I have a bit of a bias. Also, I think this stars the same guy who played Robin Hood.
Pretty sure.
It is. So.
Yeah. So this film is about a Manmouth rebel who was against King James in the 1680s. So he is a young Irish doctor who is exiled as a slave to Jamaica, where he captures a Spanish galleon and becomes the most feared pirate of the Caribbean.
it was a pretty solid and consistently entertaining film. I think it never stopped being entertaining, like a lot of old adventure films. I think it was good. I liked the piratiness of it. It felt like a pirate movie.
Hmm. So what I loved the most, because each character that appears actually did pretty damn good. This is actually one of the few cases where so yeah, they're extras, they're background characters, they're just side characters, but they all just bring it all together, and we don't see that too much.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I um I quite like the extra cast in this because it's pirates. They have to be good at like coordination and things like that.
Yup. I think that this is actually a good time to bring back the Goonometer because
Oh no.
Olivia de Havilland, she was a baddie. And okay,
I get it.
she breaks the scoreboard because, to put this quite bluntly, she gets a 20 out of 10. Don't ask me how she broke it that badly, but she did. She actually died really recent, like really fucking recently.
Oh really?
Yeah, so she was born in 1916, but she died in 2020.
Oh damn.
Yeah, so she was here for COVID. That's kind of crazy. Just imagine you went through you were born like towards the end of a whole world war, and then you lived through another one, then the Cold War, and then you,
Don't forget the depression.
yep, the Depression. She went through so much shit. Just to see COVID, like, oh shit, here we go again.
She lived right after the Spanish flu epidemic.
Yeah. And fair, well, this is one thing I'll say. She actually got to see her damn last birthday. So despite being a damn white woman, she was born in Tokyo, Japan.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a whole thing going on there. She was 4 years old by her death. Good for
I
her.
think she lived a full life, considering she was an actress in the 30s and lived to 104.
Yep. That's it's suffice to say that she outlived most actors that we have talked about thus far, or rather, almost actually all of them. I'm pretty sure.
I think there's like one or two movies where there's still that we've covered the self-living actors, but it's not many.
Yep. So beyond all that, I will give this film its trivia's. The first screen duel between Errol Flynn and Bassel Rathbone, which would be reprised 3 years later into a grander effect in The Adventures of Robin Hood, 1938.
Mm.
Errol Flynn was ill with malaria during the filming.
Oh damn.
That's crazy. Just imagine being a leading actor and you have malaria.
That's a very old Hollywood thing, isn't it?
Yeah, like, nobody gets malaria anymore, at least in America. Well, unless you have dirty water, I suppose. And, like, mosquitoes.
Still.
This was a big gamble for Warner Brothers in 1935, as it was an expensive production, costing 1 million buckaroos. Without any Marique names in the cast, both Errol Flynn and Dame Olivia de Havilland became stars after the film's release. So these were unknowns at the time.
Huh. Especially crazy knowing how famous that main actor is gonna be.
Yup, in his first major starring role, Errol Flynn was so nervous during the early shooting that the director, Michael Curtis, had to retake his early scenes much later in the production, by which time Flynn had gained an acceptable level of confidence. Aw. He was a shy boy.
Which is funny considering how he always plays like really confident characters.
Yeah, I think it's something that's very important to note for people is that these actors are still people, and while they may come off as these confident, these superstars, they are just still human, just like you. They can get shy.
And they can get nervous being on a big Hollywood production.
They can also be whores. I mean, we're gonna see a lot. We're gonna see a lot of whores, both male and female. Get ready, baby.
What did you rate Captain Blood?
I'm biased. I give this a 10.
I gave it an 8, but I feel you on that. If I wasn't trying so hard to hold back my fanboyness, then it'd be a 10.
So my reasoning for a 10, I'll explain this one. So besides my biasness, I think this film is very important for the pirate genre. Because
Hmm.
so while we have had a few other pirate movies
That no,
prior,
Mutiny on the Bounty.
yeah, so we've had a few other like pirate films prior to this, but they weren't like that, like all that. Yeah, sure, they exist. They
They
weren't.
weren't grand like Captain Blood is.
Yeah, Captain Blood, like it deserves that popular, that popular spot, is getting it.
It's kind
So
of weird to see a world of fiction without pulp
yeah,
influencing it.
it is. And next up is okay, this is a very very generic title, Dangerous. And there's actually tons of films also called Dangerous.
Dangerous, 1935. Hopefully, there's not two films in 1935 called Dangerous.
There's 8.
But this is a Bette Davis film, and Bette Davis plays a bitch because she always plays a bitch.
Excuse me, here where I live, we call her Betty Davis.
I don't think
uh,
that's how she said her name.
well, who cares what she said her name was? We say something else. No. Quick little detour. I'd explain to Oz what a gelato was, and he didn't get it.
It's gelato,
There's a gelati.
not gelati.
Yeah, but it's called gelati where I live. We all call it that. It was a whole thing, and I had to prove it existed, and it exists, and I stand on game, bro.
I feel that.
So
What did I? Oh god, this was mid.
this film, I digged it. So it is about an alcoholic actress who is considered a dangerous jinx, and she is rehabilitated, but she then shows that she is just as dangerous as ever. I love this. It is actually great. I'm being very nice to these films today because I actually really dig them. They were actually nice.
Hell yeah.
I think that Miss Betty Davis played Joyce Heath perfectly.
Mm.
Beyond that,
Okay.
I do love the plot. This plot was done well. Um, this is actually a film where I think the story, while yeah, it does what it does. I think that the message is much more important. Is that you turned a bad problem even worse by changing this woman. You're trying to treat her, but in reality, you just made the situation much worse than it truly ever would have been if you just left her alone.
That's an interesting message, and I can certainly see the appeal in that.
Yeah. So let's take a quick gander to trivia's. I'm sure this film has a lot of trivia. Ah,
I assume it's mostly Bette Davis being an absolute menace on set.
this is actually yeah, we have a lot. Oh god damn, this is a whole lot. This is the first film in which Miss Bette Davis wore her hair down, her hair in a short bob that was styled by
Mm.
Perk Westmore. Davis would favor this look for the rest of her life.
It
Miss
does look good on her.
It does. Miss Davis, as a character, was inspired by the tragic story of one of her screen idols, Jane Eagles.
Mm.
Oh, oh, oh yeah, that's
Oh,
sad. Yeah, she dies very tragically. Oh boy. Uh, though
oh
Miss
no.
Davis was very proud of the Oscars she won for this film, she didn't think she deserved it. Yep, that's the Hepburn thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Bette Davis, or Betty Davis, the proper way, of course, initially turned down this role that would win her Oscar. That would win her the Oscar. But Warner Brothers production chief Hal B. Wallace convinced her the role could be made into something special. And I agree. Uh,
Yeah, no, that she was right.
so I give this film a 8 because I really enjoyed
I gave it a 6.
it.
It was alright.
So
You want to hear about a magician, except not really?
yes,
Introducing David Copperfield. No association. This is a film about a boy. That's it. Uh, yeah, that's it. It's just about a guy who lives a very normal-ish life, kind of.
There's more to it than that. Don't sell it so short.
I mean, that's what I got out of the film. I'm gonna be real with you.
So this film, it tells the story of an orphan. That's the first thing to make clear here. So this is from the eyes and ears of an orphan, and this is a person who is discovering life outside of the shackles of being an orphan, obviously. And now he is trying to also find love in a world that's very indifferent, because that is what the adult world is in truth. And I really dig seeing this from an orphan's eyes, or rather a child's eyes, because this is how most children view things. That the world is this friendly, nice place. It's very much fun. In reality, it's very indifferent, and it can get very cruel and dark later. But I really enjoyed what this film was trying to go out for with this character, and
Yeah.
I think that this film is, for its time, and mind you, one of the best films I've ever seen. I think beyond that, because I think that the love story that they told here is, I'm like, I really enjoyed seeing the love interest, which was named Dora. No relation to Dora Explorer, of course.
It'd be kind of weird if it did.
Dora is a young woman who is inept at running a household, which
Mm.
which I think is really cool to see, because in most of these films that we see, these women, these wives, these girlfriends, they're characterized as being perfect. That you can see them do dishes well, they can clean well, they can cook well, but in reality, that's not human. Nobody does all this perfectly. And this young girl, we see her not do all that perfectly, which is great. That's the human experience. This film touches it, and I love that.
Uh, it was aight. It was kind of dull. It was a little mundane for my tastes. It I felt like the book was probably better.
This film,
I'll have to read it.
I'm gonna skip ahead real fast. This film is at the M9 for me.
I gave it another 6.
So, trivia. I will give it trivia. In response to the widespread criticisms of his having played, good lord, played McIver with a strong American accent, and W.C. Fields responded, "My father was an Englishman, and I inherited the accent from him. Are you trying to go against nature?"
Fair enough, honestly.
W.C. Fields was a Charles Dickens scholar in real life,
Oh shit.
largely as a result of the box office success of this film and Captain Courageous in 1937. By the late 1930s, Freddie Bartholomew was one of Hollywood's highest paid child actors, with a weekly salary of $2,500. He ranks second only to the only other person who can compete with him, Shirley Temple.
Hey, Shirley Temple's also in this list for this year.
Yup. Several major characters were omitted to keep running time at 2 hours, including David's close friend, Thomas Traddles. Oh,
Huh.
but yeah, this film, chef's kiss, fucking solid. The only thing holding back from that perfect 10 was that it was not longer. Literally, it's one of the few times I'm not going to say that.
Oh Jesus.
Oh, this was a really good fucking film. This is a good year for film.
It was better. I will definitely agree with you that it was better.
Next up, The Informer. No, not that one. Or 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 that one.
There's a lot of I was looking this up. There's so many films called The Informer.
Yeah, it's annoying. I
I guess it's just a really catchy title.
think the plot of this film, it's simple. That's how I often phrase this. It is a simple film, and it does what it needs to do. It is set in the year of 1922, and it is about an Irish rebel who, and I quote, informs his friend, then feels the doom closing in. Ah,
Is the moral of this movie snitches get stitches?
effectively.
Perhaps.
I enjoyed this film
Yeah.
because it's set with the Irish, and I think that they don't get as much love as they deserve in film. So yeah.
Yeah. Go Ireland.
It's also one of the first films where we actually see an Irish person not be a fucking mobster for him once. Or a
But
gangster,
he
I
is an
suppose.
alcoholic.
All Irish people are. Not being offensive, it's true. Go to
Oh
Ireland.
my god.
Prove me wrong. Yeah,
I mean, the alcoholism rate is pretty high, even with the I guess.
yeah.
But
When living stereotypes.
yeah, I I quite liked The Informer. I thought it was an entertaining little thing. I don't think it was particularly memorable or like an essential film, but it was pretty rad.
I think that the actor Victor McLegan did such an amazing job. He looked like such a damn hard ass, which was crazy to me. But from what I understand, that he was a very like sweet man. But I don't know how I can confirm that one. But that's what people said.
You never know with people. People are weird.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Mhm.
The Goonometer reappears for Miss Heather Angel. She gets a 6 on the Goonometer. Mostly because her hair is a style I actually like from that time period. She has the
Huh.
granny set. Hold on, I'll get the
Oh
granny set
no!
for you.
Please never say that again.
It's the phrase. It's called the granny set. That's what grandma's had, bro.
Oh, she looks like Bette Davis.
Yeah, the granny set. That's what it's called. Um. So we
That's fair.
of course we have some trivia because trivia.
Hell yeah.
Dudley Nichols became the first person to decline an Oscar, turning it down because of a union disagreements. Academy records indicate that Nicholas had taken possession of his Oscar by 1949.
Oh,
So it's kind of cool to see
interesting.
that we have our first decline from this movie. John Ford had been very impressed.
Can you imagine? Sorry, very quickly. How big dick a move is it to be like, no, I don't want your Academy Award that people literally kill each other to get?
I like it. It's especially for an actual like noble cause. Now, mind you, I hate unions in some aspects because not only do they fuck over the consumer, it's it's mostly the consumer. It fucks over the consumer greatly, but it also can set back things for years, especially depending on the field. So film, it can be years down the drain. For TV shows, years down the drain. It really depends on the whole damn thing because we recently actually had a whole union strike actually like from last year the damn the Writers Guild.
Hollywood got fucked.
Yeah, it was years, and like there's been plenty of them films that it's like been like years behind schedule, all because of that shit.
Uh, Here's my opinion. I agree, but the best way to prevent a union, Scyther, is to make them unnecessary.
Well, we don't live in a perfect world, and because and any by the way, this is something very important. Humans will find any reason to complain. This is a human experience. We will find any reason to nitpick at something, and then we're gonna unionize because this one thing we don't like that. Now it could be
I
a
don't know if I
serious
agree with
thing.
that, but fair enough.
Yeah, it could be so it can be a serious thing or a damn minor thing. It really depends. But now we're like, oh yes, Mr. John Ford had been very impressed by F.W. Murnau's Sunrise in 1927 and wanted to bring an element of German expressionism to this film,
Ah,
which is great because German film is about to take a whole right turn, literally.
and we get to talk about that, don't we?
We're about there. We're almost there. The day before shooting Jipo Nolan's trial scene, John Ford told Victor McLagan that he wouldn't be needed the next day, so he should take a break, enjoy himself, and not worry about his lines. McLagan proceeded to go out drinking, which Ford knew he would do. And the next day forced him to film the scene with a terrible hangover, which was just the effect Ford wanted.
I feel that. I feel that in my soul.
John Ford was concerned that the scene where drunken King, Jippo, goes into the brothel for Katie would not pass censors. The studio came up with an idea to put cats in hats, that is, have all of the prostitutes wear cats indoors, thus dissuading the censorship board from thinking that they were prostitutes. Fucking genius.
So they tricked the censorship board?
Yes, they did. With hats. Imagine the hardcore porn scene. You toss in a hat. Oh, nothing wrong here. Like Superman with the fucking glasses damn thing.
The lengths that people would go to defy the censors is comical and respectable.
Imagine that's actually where we got it from, the whole Superman glasses thing. Oh, it's just Clark. Oh, no, Superman. It came from the hats thing. I'd love that. It's actually true. But this film, I give it a 6.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's fair.
Yep. What'd you give it again?
I gave The Informer a 7.
You actually can fall in line with the consensus on IMDb. Well, they gave it a 7.4, but we don't do points here.
Do you want to do a 100-point rating scale, Scyther?
I would love to. I'm autistic. I'll do it.
Oh God, please no.
Next up is Last Members of Bells.
I didn't like this movie.
So I have to clarify here. This film is based off a book, and there are 100 billion movies called Les Miserables. I love the 2018 iteration, by the way.
I'm looking on Letterboxd, and there are at least 20 movies, all just the title, Les Miserables.
To give you an idea, just a year prior to this film, there was another movie with the same exact name.
Oh boy, yeah, it's one of those movies.
This is a film that is, all the films are based off a singular book. Who knew? And they all do their own little thing. In some cases, you'll see so much overlap. You're like, why should I watch this? But we have to mention this film because it's necessary.
It's very important, unfortunately.
Yes, and this is actually where we see an actor we've seen already. We actually talked about this guy already, I believe, thus fucking far. This is Mr. Frederick March. We literally talked about. Hold on, let me find his shit. God damn, this dude had a lot of films. Was he big? Not sure. Yeah, he was in Anna Karenina.
I mean, a lot of films, probably.
Yep, he was in.
Shit.
Yep, Anna Karenina. Oh, he's also in The Bears of Wimple Street. You remember that one, Oz?
I love that. I wait. No, not that film. I was thinking of a different film. Sorry.
Yeah, he was in another film called Manslaughter. That
sounds like a exploitation film.
I hope so.
That'd be funny.
So the cast here, outside of Frederick, I didn't really care for. He did good. He did good. But it's fucking Frederick, so of course he did good. He's the only thing really caring in this film for me. Oh, I actually explain what it's all about. This it's set in the early 19th century in France about an ex-convict who failed to report for parole, and he's pursued over a 20-year period by a very obsessive police inspector, which I think is hilarious. That you're that autistic that you want to just get this one guy for fucking parole. That's it. Which, I mean,
it's supposed to be about a statement about the judgment system.
I'm sorry, it's dumb. It's been parole. You do your report and you leave. It was all for something that stupid. I stand on that. That's actually stupid.
Yeah.
It's even more stupid to fucking a year or two, 3 or 4 years. Okay, you know what? Sure, I understand, but 20 years. 20 years. Okay, I get it. The guy had a perfect damn record for his inspections. Come on, man. Let's go.
that's the whole point of the movie.
But I do believe that the 2018 version is like the best one.
Yeah, this was kind of rough. It had some moments that I really liked, but it was just too much. Also, Charles Lawton, you don't have to be in every unlikable character role.
I think, and this is my personal belief, for any film that's underneath the Les Miserables name, I believe I I will never give them anything lower than a fucking five because the story's fucking fine. It's just the same story more or less with some minor changes in certain films, and beyond that, it's just like extra coding with like different props and maybe some different characters here and there. This film, I'm skipping ahead. It gets a fucking six. I'm being nice about that.
Mm, okay.
Yeah, I'm being very nice to this film about that one. Um, so, oh boy, you want to put your score out there before I get to the trivia?
7.
Fair. Florence
Yeah.
Eldridge.
Wasn't like the best thing ever.
Florence Eldridge, who plays Fantine, was Frederick March's wife in real life. They married from 1927 until March's death in 1975. Oh, nice.
Oh damn.
This is one of only 8 properties that had two different adaptations of the same material, both nominated for Academy Awards for Best Picture. This adaptation of Victor Hugo's novel stands alongside Miss Everlaz, 2012, but their pairings were Little Women, slash Little Woman. Okay, I'm not reading all that. But there's a lot of them films that had pairings. I'm surprised it said, oh yeah, because all the other damn Les Miserables did not get damn nominated. There's so many iterations of it.
Oh my god. This is gonna be one of those movies that keeps popping up, isn't it?
Yeah, it will keep popping up. There are numerous changes to Victor Hugo's novel, including reducing Bellien's prison time to 10 years. Between 1800 to 1810, it's set in 1796 to 1815. Abridging the ordeals of Fantine, completely limiting her prostitution, probably to conform to Hays Code. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, yeah, okay. I actually prefer that because it actually closes a lot of the fucking plot holes going on for real, and it also removes removes unnecessary drama with actually learning the fucking protagonist's actual identity between him the love interest, I guess, which is cool. I actually can follow that actually in most iterations. I believe it's actually really unnecessary stuff to have it in there. This is me though. Next up is the Littlest Rebel, which I believe is Shirley Temple. Okay, I think it's best to mention this now because she is a character who will be getting a damn legend lens, just because I want to research her in her damn entirety. I think that Shirley Temple is a great actor, but she is a better person, as well I'll say. She's a better person than she actually is an actor. She did
Okay.
she did a lot in her life prior to her demise in 2014, and she also I have to clarify here. I have to clarify this. She is a baddie, but she isn't a baddie now. But she will become a baddie. I know this because I'm in the future. I'm from the future, so I know this.
So, can I just say what this film is? This is Confederate propaganda.
You're damn right. Let's go. Oh wait, hold on. I'm forgot I'm half black. Oh no! Boo! 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 Oh no! Boo! We went like him. Oh no! Boo! Hides my Confederate memorabilia. I don't actually own any of that, by the way, guys. That's her, by
I
the
think
way.
I know if you own Confederate memorabilia.
Hide my actual German stuff from World War One, by the way, losers. No, not two. What? Do you not also own an imperial naval flag? It goes hard.
I need to. I don't think the Irish ever had an imperial navy, so I don't think that would connect
Well,
much to my heritage.
do we count the British Imperial Navy, which was also under,
over, we should say.
Yeah, over. You guys were slavelings, if you will. Slavelings. That's my word. I coined it.
But yes, the Littlest Rebel. This is Confederate propaganda. You got to remember, in the 30s, there was still an active population of Civil War veterans.
Yes.
So they made films to cater to them. I think, didn't we talk about that Judge movie?
Yes.
That was another Confederate propaganda movie.
Yeah. I think it's something that we might actually have to talk about because this for some context in a different video, its own damn video, is context that there are films that you will not like solely based off of its context. In this case, the little rebel will offend you if you're black, probably. Of course, if it does not fucking offend you, then great.
Against the Confederacy, like most people nowadays.
Yes. It's something that's so important to talk about because I think it's important to know both sides of a story, and unfortunately, we can't exactly give the side of a whole dead side. Unfortunately, we can't speak to ghosts, but I would love to deep dive on the mindset of a Confederate versus a Yankee. Yeah, we have movies. We also have books. Yeah. Books are much more how do I say this, reliable. A reliable narrator compared to a movie.
Of course. Yeah, I'm not like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So
Shirley did a good job in this film. She does a good job in all her films. Hence why she was paid so much money.
Yeah, no, she was incredibly popular. There's a reason that we couldn't escape her advertising as children.
And it's still a thing.
Unfortunately, I think that's the only thing. The only thing that gave this film any points for me was that Shirley Temple can, in fact, dance and sing and
shit. I do love that it touches upon the all the slavery stuff. It does touch upon it, and it touches upon execution.
It doesn't touch upon it very well.
It also touches upon the presidency and all that other stuff. I think if you look at this film from a non-biased stance, you can really learn something here. Now, as they read this, a non-biased stance. A non-biased stance is that you have to go in here realizing that this is not for a modern audience. You need to remember this. It's so important. The same thing goes for a film for Nazis, for commies, or for those really weird Americans who think they're better than everybody else. Go in here remembering
this film.
Well, this is for Confederates and not Americans. Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, this is for racist ass Confederate dudes.
But let's talk about his trivia. Mr. John, or rather, both John Boyle and Bill Robinson nearly drowned while trying to cross a raging 15-foot river for an escape scene that was cut from the film. Imagine you nearly drowning for a damn cut. The thing got cut. That's so bullshit.
That's so depressing. That's bullshit.
In one scene, Shirley Temple disguises herself as a black child. He's using boot polish, a controversial act by modern standards. The use of blackface was already fairly uncommon in Hollywood films outside of scenes that showed characters specifically performing in blackface, taking part in minstrel show, etc. The fact that characters in the film already accepted blacked up Virgie as a natural African actor, or rather African child, is likely an artifact of original play. 1935 audiences would have likely expected this plot element in the film adaptation. So we're actually already getting to a point where blackface is... So it exists still, but it's already being fucking phased out. It's already almost gone.
It's getting to a point... You see this even... We interpret the past as incredibly racist than it was. But we have to understand that, like, it wasn't like World War II ended and so everyone suddenly joined the civil rights movement. It was a slow, gradual process. And even in the 30s, there were things that were just too racist.
Yeah.
H.P. Lovecraft. Look at anything H.P. Lovecraft believed, and you'll probably find some fringe belief that was uncommon, even for the 1930s.
I think it's something that's actually very important to remember is that, now it's offensive. It's an offensive statement, but it's true. And trying to deny this truth is silly. And I'm not someone that will try and deny something that actually exists. This film touches upon Dixie culture, and Dixie is a culture group in America. It's unignorable. You cannot say that it does not exist. It does exist. It has its roots in the southern portion of the United States of America, and this is a film for those people in particular. It's not just Confederates; it's also people in the South who love this shit. Which is fucking fair.
Dixie movie, I should say.
Yeah, this is a Dixie film, and that is fucking fine. I think it's something that's very important because we don't hear about Dixie culture anymore. Well, especially considering that where we live in areas where Dixie is not really a thing, obviously. But if we live
Dixies in the Midwest. What?
There are no Dixies in the Midwest. Although some people will claim that there's Dixies as far as Midwest, but they are wrong. They are central to the southern portion of the United States. So think about Virginia down.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, I'm sorry, we're trailing.
Yeah. It's something that I think blackface is wrong, but at the same time,
Obviously,
I think that if we're going to hold that candle for blackface, then you should hold the same candle for people using white, yellow, or any other color. We cannot be selective just because you're angry over something.
Yeah,
that's how I hold it.
You know, this may be a controversial opinion, but how about we just don't be racist? Like it's really not that hard.
Yes. So the play The Littlest Rebel opened in New York at the Liberty Theater on November 14th, 1911, and closed on January 12th. January 1912 after 55 performances. The opening night class included William Furnham and Mr. Carey and Mary Wells Winter as Virgie Carey. But yeah, this film, I think, just for a pure historical, and especially because it covers a culture group, it's not really like not really, people are trying to deny its existence. I think this film is really, really important and essential just for that one culture group alone. An 8.
I gave it a 3. I thought the film was racist and not much else. It was pretty out there. I think it was mostly just Shirley Temple singing with some black people, and like the music was fine, but there wasn't much plot, and it felt really pandering. So that's why I gave it a 3.
So the reason why, outside of obviously the historical context, I did enjoy some of the plot points, the bit it had going on. I also love the fucking prop pieces. Those were fucking damn good.
Yeah, I'd say the props are okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and I also love how they utilize Abraham Lincoln in this film. That was really, really good.
Yeah. The prosthetics were pretty impressive, considering we're going to see some pretty terrible Lincoln prosthetics pretty soon in a couple of years.
Yeah. So to contrast our own opinions here, we actually do have some critical reception. So upon release, The Spectator in 1936, Graham Greene gave the film a mildly poor review, explaining that he expected there would be the usual sentimental exploitation of childhood, but he had not expected Temple's tremendous energy, which he criticized as too unnerving. He didn't like her.
I don't agree with. Yeah, I don't agree with that. I think there's a lot of things you can criticize this film for. I don't think Shirley Temple's performance is one of them.
And
she's a child.
I mean,
are we really digging deep into a child's performance?
I mean, at the end of the day, she's an actor, and we can critique her all we want, no matter her age. And I can see his point. She is a bundle of energy, but that's her whole shtick. But at the same time, if you are if you're reviewing, you are a reviewer, you can put that in there that she is too much of a ball of energy. She needs to tone it down. That's perfectly okay.
I say why you. I'm not saying that you can't criticize the child's acting. I'm just saying that like you should have a lower expectation of a child's performance because they are a child.
Understandable, that's understandable, but at the same time, he actually stated that he expected that usual like that stuff, but she went beyond the usual.
Yeah, I feel you.
And are a modern person, Bill Gibbon, or excuse me, Gribbon, of the Online Film Critics Society, fucking pretentious pricks.
Ooh, that sounds so pretentious. Oh my god.
He wrote, "The racism present in the Lewis Rebel, the Little Colonel, and Dimples is enough to warrant a clear critical caveat. However, Gribbon, echoing most film critics who continue to see value in Temple's work despite the racism present in some of it, wrote, thankfully the talent of the center of these troubling takes is worthwhile for some anyway. It is! Temple's a good actress."
I think that kind of echoes our opinion, which is, yeah, it's good performance if you can ignore the terrible bigotry.
Yep. I love to lean more on the historical context, especially because of the people being it's so weird thinking that they're being oppressed in this way, because they're the ones who actually were doing the oppressing at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like oppression. I don't care what they did like 200 fucking years ago.
That's a fair point, honestly, but
Next up is The Lives of a Bengal Lancer, or rather, The Lives of a Bengal Lancer.
This was a strange film.
I like the film a lot, purely because of one reason. It's set in Bengal, or rather, a Bengalese person, and they don't get much love.
They don't, do they?
They do not. Also,
I
action
wish this was
scenes.
a little bit more accurate, but whatever.
Also, action scenes. Because this film actually, it touched
It's an
upon...
adventure film.
Yeah, it touched upon a lot of how we do modern-ish, like, gun scenes, which I loved.
Yeah, the combat in this film did feel very energetic.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of damn Rambo. That's what I'll say.
I feel that it does give that vibe of like because they're all prisoners and they're I get you. I feel
Yeah. So the film was about free British soldiers on the northwest frontier of India against the struggle against enemies and themselves. Which they got captured. So yeah, it's a whole struggle, and so this whole plot line generic. It's generic, and that's okay. Because we're not here for a whole new tale, even though it's set in a place that is exotic to us. I can say with pure confidence, I will never go to India in my life. But the fact that I can see as a person what it could, this in quotations, look like, I like that.
I do love how you had to clarify potentially.
Yes. I think the men did a good job. I think everyone in this film did a good job. Do I like the fact that most of the actors who were playing Indians were not Indian? No, I don't.
Yeah, that was rough. That was kind of hard to watch.
But at the same time, there were a few people that actually were at least to a degree Indian. I believe Tim Roth was. That's one guy.
Yeah, that was kind of hard to stomach. Nope, he's Russian.
That is tough.
Why do they have a Russian guy playing Indian?
That is very tough. Oh,
Yeah.
there was Noble Johnson. Oh, he was African American. He was an Indian either.
So no one in this film, primarily set in Bengal, is from Bengal.
Yep.
Or India.
Apparently so.
That's rough. That's rough, buddy.
I like how we didn't give Little with Rebel some trivia. Oh well, not my problem.
I mean, we talked about its critical reception.
Yeah, that's more than enough. So here's some trivia about the lives of a Bengal Lancer. Paramount had planned to produce the film in 1931, and sent cinematographers Ernest B. Shuzdak and Rex Wimpy to India to film location shots, such as a tiger hunt. However, much of the film's stock deteriorated in boiling heat. So when the film had eventually made in 1994, much of the production took place in the hills surrounding Los Angeles. So it actually was going to do with India, but it got too hot. I mean, it was right on the equator, so no shit.
Yeah, you went to one of the like the hottest places, and you're like, "Damn, this is hot. We can't film here." What? It took you this long to figure that out?
Sergei Standing was bitten by a black widow spider during filming. Ooh, that sucks.
That's rough.
The film was criticized for showing soldiers not taking cover under fire. It's an action film, buddy.
I don't think this film was going for realistic. Do you?
Nope. The novel in which the film was based was set in 1905 during the Edwardian era.
Mm.
Okay, that's an era that I really want to talk about one day. We just have to do that because it was old Vicky, but now we're at Edward. They're kind of boring until at least World War II, or rather World War One. Excuse me.
I was gonna say what?
Pretty sure Edward was still alive during the next era though.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right.
Yep, this is the film where Douglas Dumbrill says we have ways of making men talk. However, it is often remembered as we have ways of making you talk.
Oh.
Yeah, that is a very famous quote. It's also often misquoted.
Huh.
I did not know it came from this one film.
That is a really strange place for that saying to come.
I dig it though. I actually really dig it.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not gonna bitch about that. I'm not trying to be a negative critic.
So we have reached a new bad boy, A Midsummer's Night's Dream.
Oh, ratings.
Oh yeah, 6.
5.
Yeah, oh my fucking god, A Midsummer's Night's Dream has over fucking how many adaptations? There's so much.
Isn't it a Shakespeare play?
I think so.
Yeah.
There's so fucking much. It actually makes me fucking wonder, like what of Shakespeare's work was not adapted at all. I'm kind of curious.
Surely everything's been adapted by now.
You know what? While you lead them with the description of this lovely film, I'm gonna look this up.
All right, everybody. Okay, so Midsummer Night's Dream. Look at drugs. No, but there's more to it. This is a Shakespeare play, I think. Something like that. It's a classic story. It's kind of a fairy tale. It's kind of all over the place, and it's the only film where James Cagney becomes a half donkey man. I think that's this film.
Okay, so
yes, he is.
So we do have a few things he has made that was never adapted at all to film or any other form of modern writings.
Oh.
Yes, The Phoenix and the Turtle, which was a very obscure poem.
Oh,
yeah.
Why?
Also, he has numerous lost plays, which, I mean, doesn't count.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if they weren't lost, there would be adaptations of them.
Yeah, we do know that Cardano, it only exists in fucking fragments or references, so there are no complete texts of it.
Which would make it hard to adapt.
Yup. Oh, come on, let somebody who's really autistic give it a try.
I'm scared. I'm so scared. But Midsummer Night's Dream is a strange film. It doesn't really make a lot of sense, and is kind of it's very much. If you've ever played D&D, imagine the Feywild. That's basically this entire movie. It's so outlandish and weird, and kind of unabashedly weird. I dig it in that way.
I liked it. It's very all over the place, but it's good for what it is.
It's
also
hard for me to find anything coherent about it, which is my main problem with the film.
It also stars the baddest bitch who broke the damn scale today, the fucking 20, Miss Olivia de Havilland. So,
she was in a couple things this year.
yes, she was. once we hop over and we do the lovely the Syphies and Ozzy stamp thing, she is most definitely getting an actress award win this year.
Oh yeah. I don't have a ton of thoughts on Midnight Summer's Dream. It was or Midsummer's Night's Dream.
I
It was okay.
think the film is good, and it was always going to be good because it's based on Shakespeare shit. The only way it would have been failed was if the actors and the director did such a shit job. There's no way it could have been failed.
Or they tried to change it significantly.
Fortunately, I'm pretty sure it's almost so. It's not, obviously it's not damn fucking one for one, but it's close enough.
Oh yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it wasn't changed too much.
So to hop into the trivia's or the deeper lores, Mickey Rooney broke his leg during the filming and was wheeled around behind bushes on a bicycle during the filming. He was doubled by George P. Brickstoin in many scenes.
Oh damn.
When the force that Max Reinhardt designed cannot be lit properly, cinematographer Hal Moore thinned the trees slightly and sprayed them with aluminum paint. Oh, yeah, that's gonna kill somebody. And covered them with cobwebs and tiny metal particles to reflect the light. As a result, he became the first and only write-in winner of an Academy Award.
Oh.
Did I hear assesses? I heard assesses. This was the first film was released at 132 minutes, but then trimmed to 117 for the general release. The full 132-minute version was not seen again until it turned up on cable television in 1994.
Why would it, I guess cable's all about filling time, so.
Or
Okay.
what could happen is they grabbed the wrong version. What's this one? Let's toss it in there. Same shit, right?
That product planner was not having a good day, or that programming planner.
Critics weren't the only ones who felt that Dick Powell was miscast as Lysander. Powell felt the same way too, and asked me to take off the film.
Oh, I assume since we know about it, his request was not granted.
Nope. I'll be sometimes contracts, man. This film, I have to compare it, against the actual writings, of course, and also other adaptations which are already in place. But I think this film is decent. It's worthy of a 7, at least from my eyes.
It's a 5. It's aight.
Ooh boy. So who else we got here? Mutiny on the Bounty. Ooh boy, another fucking pirate
This
themed one.
was the big Oscar film for this year.
Oh fuck me! There's 100 fucking films with the same damn name.
Yeah, it's one of those films. A lot of films that got readapted a lot.
So this bad boy right here, first mate Fletcher Christian leads a revolt against the sadistic commander Captain Bleh. In this classic seafaring adventure based on a real-life mutiny in 1789.
Also stars Clark Gable.
The Gable.
The Gable Man, as some might call him.
Yep.
This was good. No, it was great. No, it was a good film. It was just really slow and really fucking long.
I, again, love pirate-themed shit, and I am biased automatically, but I love a good mutiny. These are, in a sense, the original unions.
That they're stuck in the ocean.
If you have a really shitty boss, it's time to mutiny.
And get exiled from your country of origin.
Varies, mind you. If it's a standard seafaring vessel, it doesn't matter. If it's one of my damn country, then yeah, then you're getting exiled.
Could you imagine how terrifying it must be to be a captain of just like a normal, not government-owned ship? Like they could mutiny you at any time and suffer very few consequences.
Well, by that same extent, you could hire some really sadistic motherfuckers to kill these people.
That's fair.
Oh, what happened to your crew? Oh, I'm sorry, but they damn died of damn scurvy. What? You're gonna fat check me? No, you ain't gonna do that. You're gonna accept it. Different times. Different times.
Really.
Beyond that, we of course have some trivias.
Mm.
Let's see the trivias. Actor James Cagney was sailing his boat off of Catalina Island, California, and past the area where the film crew was shooting aboard the Bounty replica. Cagney called the director, Frank Lloyd, an old friend, and said that he was on vacation and could use a couple of bucks, and asked if Lloyd had any work for him. Lloyd put him in a sailor's uniform, and Cagney spent the rest of his day as an extra playing a sailor aboard the Bounty. Cagney was clearly visible near the beginning of the movie. You could just see a dude in a fucking ship nearby.
Cagney just decided to play an extra out of the blue. I doubt he needed the money.
Just imagine you're just vibing out in the ocean. This one vacation. You just fucking call somebody up.
Hey, I noticed you guys have a boat nearby.
This is the only film to receive 3 nominations for the Academy Award for Best Actor. Clark Gable, Charles Lathan, and Frankton Tone. Because of this, the Academy introduced a Best Supporting Actor Oscar shortly afterward to ensure this situation would not be repeated. They all lost to Victor Lafton for The Informer.
I think Charles Lawton did a better job in this film than in the. We'll get there when we get to the Ozzy and the Scythes, but
I don't know. I feel like Mr. Lafton did a damn good job.
that's what I'm saying.
But I like Clark though. I do like Clark.
I think you gotta admit at least one of these actors did better than the Informer, though.
Well, it's not about the film itself. It's about the lead, and I think the lead, Victor McLagan, did do a damn good job. The issue is, how does one truly scale that one is superior over the other? That's really hard here in this case.
I agree, but I still think it's Mutiny on the Bounty.
Clark Gable initially felt he was badly miscast as an English naval lieutenant in his historic epic. However, he later said that he believed this was the best movie he had starred in.
Aww. Well, that's good.
Wallace Beery turned down the role of Cap Blais because he didn't like Clark Gable and didn't want to be stuck on a long location shoot with him.
Also, I just don't think he would have done very well in this role.
Guess we'll never know. Never know.
Yeah, at least that's my opinion.
Alternate world, this fucking film was like even bigger than it was. That'd be been funny.
Because Wallace Beery, the tearjerker actor, was in Mutiny on the Bounty.
So, I mean, in fairness, fucking damn when Wallace Beery did have the damn fucking villain look down to the MT. It could have worked.
Could have.
Next one. Oh wait, hold on. Ratings.
I give it an 8.
7.
Fair enough.
Next one up is a great name, Naughty Marietta.
Which sounds like it should be a porno. But
This film also has adaptations. 1912, 1915, 1955, and 1935, respectively.
This is.
Apologies, people. Apologies. I had to get into a call, and that was a whole thing.
One of your bitches.
Oh no, that's my fucking sister.
Oh, fair enough.
I'll be cutting that out of the actual video. That'll be fun. But so where were we? Yes. Naughty Marietta. This film is I believe this is a colonial film.
It's set in the 19th century, I'm pretty sure. Maybe 18th? Actually, it says. No, it doesn't. It's an old-timey Victorian movie style.
Oh, here we go. In order to escape a prearranged marriage, a rebellious French princess sheds her identity and escapes to colonial New Orleans, where she finds an unlucky true love.
Well, there you go. That gives us a pretty decent timeline.
Oh, this fucking film.
Mhm.
So first and foremost, the protagonist, goon material, 100.
I guess I see it. You're talking about Jeanette McDonald?
Yeah, she's protagonist. It's centered on
Yeah.
her.
Not my thing. Not my thing.
I get it. She's Scottish. You don't like Scots. I get it. I get it. I get it.
Sure, that's the reason. Totally.
So she is obviously a royal, and it's a pretty generic plot line. It's romance. It's all generic. It's all already been done. But I always enjoyed those really weird films where you will see these princesses or princes trying to escape their privileged life. And I get it. I get it. We all have that person that we don't want to be with. And poor people can just leave, for real, for the most part. Or if they're an abusive partner and you can't just leave, that's understandable too. But you can't really leave if you're a noble. You kind of just put up with it. You can't just leave.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. That sucks.
especially
Dick.
especially if you're a woman. You can't just for a really long time. Especially if you're noble, you can't just get divorced. You have to wait until that person dies, and more often than not, you're the one dying first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I liked it. This film was intriguing enough, mostly because I love when they talk about like areas where we don't really see too much. For example, pre-colonial fucking New Orleans. That's amazing.
Yeah. I thought it was alright.
So I will also tag upon the trivia, like one or two. This film doesn't deserve more than that.
Yeah.
Much to Frank Morgan's annoyance, he was required to shave his mustache, which he hadn't done for 17 years.
Oh goddamn.
Jeanette MacDonald very much wanted Ellen Jones to star in this film as her leading man. He was unable to work on the film due to his role in Marx Brothers' A Night at the Opera.
This is also on our list for the
Yep.
studio.
The scheduling conflict set the stage for Nelson Eddy to act alongside MacDonald in what would become the first of 8 films featuring the two stars.
Oh damn.
You know what else also in here because I said I can. Reportedly, some controversy arose over the inclusion of this song, "Ah, Sweet Mystery of Life," in the film because it is known by many to be a theme song of Forest Lawn, Memorial Park, and Mortuary.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yes, it is. Speaking of the opera, it's actually next, literally right next.
This is a Marx Brother. Oh, actually,
We're not done.
Naughty Marietta.
Maybe we're 6.
5.
I just
It
think
was okay.
the film. It's a good film. It tackles an area where let's be real. When have you outside this film? When have you heard of the colonial New Orleans? I doubt you haven't, unless you played the video game.
Oh god, no. Yeah, I know nothing about that. Period.
Yeah, so I think it's cool. I love films that do that. This one alone is a bonus point for me. Beyond that,
Oh yeah.
we have A Night at the Opera, which by the way has the best opener, which it features all the damn brothers, like in the Metro Golden damn Mayor's fucking lion do the damn roar. I love that.
Yes. This film is weirdly meta, and I kind of love it. I love a lot of the Marx Brothers films. You know this. Everyone knows this. I just really like these movies.
Yeah.
And this is no exception. This is another really solid Marx Brothers films. I wouldn't say it's as good as Duck Soup. I don't know how you feel about it.
But it was okay. So, how I view the Marx Brothers is that there is a clear cutoff of when they were just doing it for. So, if you remember, there's some trivia here. Is that originally how they did their routine is that they were still doing actual fucking comedy at the damn time, as a whole profession. But then you see the drop off up to where they don't do that anymore, and there's purely independent films, purely just been film. And I think this is one of those times where it's purely just film, which has been fine.
Yeah.
The brothers alone will be getting their own legend lens. I'm telling you that now. all in one. There's too many of them that we can do individual. And they're kind of a
They're
group
all
act.
intertwined.
Yeah, they're a
Yeah.
group act. And there would be certain cases where like there's like two people who are individual, but like their whole careers together, like they work together, as like a leading man and a leading lady. There'll be cases where we'll do them together,
Mhm.
just because they're so intertwined. Um,
Yeah.
but the story is about a sly businessman, or rather a business manager, and the wacky friends of two opera singers in Italy that help him achieve success in America while humiliating their stuffy, snobbish enemies. It's simple. It's very simple. It's my enemies, and it's a very simple plot line. I like it. It doesn't have to be super advanced, obviously.
Yeah, and it's you think about it, it's a comedy. The plot's not super important.
Yeah. It of course always it depends on back then comedy. Sure, modern day comedy it almost always intertwines story for some reason. I don't. Okay, I get it. I love that way. But I'm like, huh. I wonder why that changed.
I guess people just kind of wanted more plot in their comedies, but I'll have to look into that as we go forward.
Yep.
Uh, there's not a ton to say. It's just a good. It's a Marx Brothers comedy. If you like this kind of movie, you'll love it. If you don't, you won't.
Yeah. That pretty much sums up all of our films, really.
Yeah. I quite liked it though, and I gave it an 8.
You're skipping ahead, buddy, but that's okay.
Oh,
I gave it a 6. But let's go to the trivia. We'll give it like two trivia pieces.
yeah.
Trivia. In Exploration, after several attempts to have Groucho Marx read one of his lines, and the manager, Director Sam Wood, had requested, Wood exclaimed, "I guess you can't just make an actor out of clay." Groucho Marx instantly responded, "Not a director out of wood." Nor a director out of wood. Groucho Marx said that this was his favorite film among his movies.
I can see that.
Ah. Hmm. So, honestly, I'm actually gonna reevaluate my score here. 7.
Okay, that's fair.
Next one is up. Peter Elbison.
It's a Ebbets. Oh, the god, the fuck! This film was strange.
This
I
is
did not understand this film.
so. I digged it because it's set in the Victorian era. By the way, I love that shit.
Yeah.
So he falls in love with a duchess, and it's another fucking romance film. But that's okay because it's actually a decent one for once. I thought it was decent at the very least. Um, to explain the protagonist just a little bit, and I don't normally explain the story too much in detail because you can watch it your damn self for real. Go-Go, yes, that's his name, is a young boy of English. He's English by the way. He grew up in Paris, so he shared a very friendly but yet combative relationship with a young neighbor girl named Mimsy. And the only Mimsy I know is from South Park, and it's like Mimsy because there's a character who always gets raped by a fucking giant whale. I'm not kidding. That happens.
South Park is such a fucking fever dream.
I'm very excited when we get to it. It's gonna be great. But
I'm gonna suffer.
so Mr. Go-Go changes his name to Peter Ebbetson, and that's how that goes. I believe eventually he re-encounters Mimsy again. I think that's what happens.
They go to the heaven spirit realm together in their dreams.
Yeah. Ooh boy.
This film's kind of out there, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah. And it's actually also where we see Dickie Moore. He is a great actor, great little actor. He plays in a film we actually already went over, Oliver Twist,
Oh hell yeah!
and he is at least in my opinion, he's one of the greatest actors ever, especially for a child actor. He kind of sets a standard Well, besides Shirley Temple, I suppose.
Yeah.
Um, Beyond that, this is a pretty standard love story. I actually prefer the idea that he actually gets it with the name Mimsy instead of we actually got with in the end.
Yeah.
Call me a typical vanilla bitch, but I prefer a childhood two DM lover instead of like some random bitch rule. That's just me. I'm a bit like that though. I'm a bit like that.
It do be like that.
Yeah, but I will say the ending, I really digged it. It really spoke to me, especially if a person who I find love to be that thing like, oh, it exists. Cool. I'm a fuck now. Okay, it's fucking spoiler, I guess in this case. Mary fucking dies, but one final time she goes to their meetup dream spot and she speaks to her lover one final time, and then he tells her and he promises that he will join her now, and he dies too. He just chose to leave himself for real.
He just vibed out too hard.
He literally vibed himself to death. That is dedication to the fucking vibe.
It'd be like that.
So this film was actually really well received among critics. I mean,
Oh, that's strange.
it was all. I mean, it's not that strange at all. It actually had some really great cinematography. This film was actually to a degree a million masterpiece a million masterpiece on that part alone.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought the film was like a 6, maybe a 7 at best. Depends.
I give it a 5.
But yeah, I give it a 6. The film is okay. Oh yeah, trivia. You don't need trivia. I just gave him all the deeper lore. So where else am I? Oh boy, Ruggles of a Red Gap.
I actually quite liked this film. It's a film about a guy played by Charles Lawton who's like a British servant whose owner, boss, I don't know how you would refer to, master, loses a bet with an American. Is he a gold miner or is he? I think he's an oil guy, isn't he?
I believe so. Yes.
He loses the servant in a bet with the oil guy and becomes an American citizen and learns the difference in American culture and the idea that everyone is equal and stuff. And in an era that we often categorize by how racist it is so goddamn refreshing to see a film about the idea that we're all equal.
I really love this film for one key thing. It's such upon a thing where we as Americans we don't remember it anymore, but it was a thing that we did. We practiced it. So, in America, how you get into this country normally, keyword normally, is you have to either be born here or you can visa your way in, or you get a green card, or you can just marry an American citizen, and it'll be a whole process for that too. There are other ways, not so legal ways. I don't recommend that at all. But this film touches upon a whole other method. It's illegal to do now. A bet. You can get humans through bets.
I guess it was technically, I think legally, basically, they transferred his employment, so he's on a work visa.
That is hold on now. Hold on. When did that? Oh boy. So it really depends and when this film is set in the year, because work visas did not become a damn thing until 1917.
This film takes place, I'm pretty sure, right after the Civil War, so it's probably not a work visa. It's probably something else.
Yep. Or we can go the old gambling route. I own you now. I won you into a vet. And America honors that.
Did.
I guarantee you, there's some random obscure law still not stricken from the books somewhere in America where you can still do this. I guarantee it. There's so many laws we're not stricken off the books that you just do. It's some ancient lore going on here, buddy.
like how if you live in Texas, you can shoot a man who tries to steal your horse. It hasn't been repealed simply because how often does that really happen?
I feel like one. Oh my god! Imagine abusing that law, though. I want to do it.
Like, imagine if some guy steals your horse, you cap him, and you go to court, and you're like, he stole my horse. It's legal.
I live in 2 states. You can fuck animals. That's a whole thing. Whole thing.
Anyways, Ruggles of Rudgap. This film is actually pretty wholesome. Despite how weird and slavery-ish the plot sounds, it's actually about, like I said, it's about someone becoming an American, and it's really wonderful. It also talks a lot about British classism,
Ah,
which is a subject I've always found very strange.
I dig it. British classism. It's especially reminiscent of other classisms of the time. So, for example, French classism, which got a whole fucking guillotine through its fucking head.
Yeah. But, it is an interesting film. Obviously, I'm a little biased because it is trying to directly appeal to my values, but I thought it was good.
My values, unfortunately, were not tickled. I feel it is meandering a bit to those American values that really hit. It's the things that they were always taught in those movies. That's like, this is America, and this is why that we're the best country on earth. Equality, all that jazz, which is fine and dandy, I suppose.
It's trying to represent an ideal, all right?
And that ideal, what sounds good on paper, oh boy, in practice.
I disagree. That's not for this podcast.
It's not perfect, but oh boy, they tried. Yeah. To me, it's too much meandering, which is fine. It's fine. It's not for me. It's for certain other people's. I did dig the touch on British life. I always preferred it over the American stuff because it's so foreign yet so familiar.
Yeah.
But the film for me, outside of trivia, is a fucking 5.
I gave it an 8.
Now to that trivia. Nazi Germany banned this film.
I'm surprised more films aren't on that list.
So it's banned for only one reason. Literally, it would not have been banned if not for this one reason. Because of the Gettysburg Address.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The Gettysburg Address had great personal significance to Charles Laughton, as he was considering taking up American citizenship.
I wonder if he ever did. I think so.
Let's take a gander. Charles Laughton. Let's take a gander at this man's life. Oh, here we go. He became an American citizen in 1950, and he would die this about 12 years later.
It took him a while, but he got there.
Yep. But yeah, this film is something that if you want that stuff, hop in. I do love the fucking the whole British stuff though. Oh boy. Yeah, for most people, it like during this fucking time period, it would literally be damn night and day between the two damn countries. Because the damn nobles still had all that power, baby.
Yeah.
And then we have America. It's like, the people, right here, equality. It's great. Everyone's equal. Everyone's equal. Not really though. Slashes away all those Asians, all those blacks, and then women's rights. A little, not really. A little bit though. More than the others.
They can vote.
not during this time frame of this film. Not yet.
No, they can vote.
No, hold on. I'm looking that up. When were the ladies? No. Women allowed to vote.
1920.
1920. When was this film again? Because so we already
35.
No. When was the film itself set in? The film.
Yeah, it's set in the Wild West days. Yeah, it's set right after the Civil War.
Yeah, so like I'm about to say because we already confirmed that this film was before work visas. I'm like, what?
I thought you were talking about when the film was made.
No. But yeah, women voting? No, buddy. They still have more rights than other people, I suppose. I mean, but hold on now. Slavery going to other countries or women's rights? Hold on now. Let's debate which one sounds better on paper. Nah, let's not do that.
That's not. This is not a political podcast. Like fuck.
No, that's not in politics. That's fucking morality right there. Not politics. You can make it in politics, though.
Anyways, The Scoundrel.
Oh boy, this film. The Scoundrel. Did you know
It was good. Yeah.
there are numerous films with the name Scoundrel?
Oh yeah, of course there is.
So, a ruthless, cynical, and hated publisher is killed in a plane crash. Doomed to be a ruthless spirit for being unloved, a heavenly power grants him the power for a month on Earth to find one person to shed a tear for him before his fate is sealed, whatever. To me, this feels like a retelling of Scrooge and the whole fucking free ghost thing, but like better.
I like the setup for this, and I actually quite liked this movie. It wasn't perfect, but it certainly had some things I liked.
So I dig it because it really reminds me of Scrooge, and I love Scrooge. Beyond that, I think the music in the film was nice too.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yep. So there are a lot of people who obviously did not like the person, which that's when he realizes, wow, I fucking suck.
Yeah.
Which is great. That's fucking great. It's a whole bunch of lessons being learned here. It tells a message that you should be nicer. That's great.
Be kind to one another, goddammit.
We really need that messaging nowadays more than any time. I'm joking. No, I'm not. I think.
Give me your one to talk.
Oh, I guess what? I am plenty fucking nice. The people that can deserve it. If I see that in your everyday life that you are a dick, I will treat you just like one.
Fair enough.
But Mr. William Noel Coward did great. He did fucking great.
Unfortunate name.
But outside of that, there was a lot of characters in this movie that had a lot of damn funny names, like Luigi. And I know a certain Luigi. And it's not a Mario brother.
It's strange if you knew a Mario brother.
I do know a Mario who has a brother.
Damn it, if only the brother was named Luigi.
So, trivia. This film was the first debut of Miss Burgess Meredith.
Oh.
Yep. Also, this film won the Best Writing Original Story of the Oscar for its only Academy Award nomination. Oh, good for him.
Yeah.
So, that is The Scoundrel. Next up is A Tale of Two Cities.
Yes. I remember not liking this film much.
This film is adapted a lot. And by a lot, I mean a lot. I mean about fucking 80 damn times. A lot.
Oh, damn.
So...
I thought it was okay, actually. Never mind. I'm thinking of a different film. I'm thinking Pimpernel. That's why.
So to give you guys a gist, it's about a pair of two damn fucking lookalikes. One a fucking former damn French aristocrat, and the other an alcoholic English lawyer. They can fucking fall in love with the same woman in amidst the turmoil of the French Revolution. Yay.
Wow, yeah, that sounds very movie.
So we're dealing with a whole lot off the bat because the backdrop of the French Revolution, and at least in my experience, these films are either really damn good or dog water.
I thought this was good.
This film is quite decent, mostly because it has Miss Elizabeth Allen in it, and she's on a Goonometer 8.
Bad enough.
So, let's see here. Yes. Oh, yes. So this film is also a F7, if it can fall in line with the usual consensus anyway, which is a 7.9. So, trivia-wise, the starting of the Bastille was actually directed by Val Lewton and Jesquas Tournier, a partnership which would later go on to make such horror classics such as Cat People and I Walked with a Zombie.
Oh yeah, those are technically horror movies, I guess.
This is the fucking fourth version of the novel. This is the fucking fourth film adaptation of the novel, which was previously made in 1911, 1917, and 1922. Oh, wait, buddy, there's more. There'll be so much more later.
Oh God.
This marks the last time in that Ronald Colman agreed to shave his trademark mustache for a film.
That's okay.
Something that's very important, still to now, today, by the way, is that men love their facial hair. It's a sign of masculinity, and you can't take it away from them. And not only that, we have a whole government organization based on the protection of mustaches and beards. I'm not kidding. It's a thing.
What do they do?
They provide grants and loans to protect men's facial hair, and to also preserve the historical value of that said facial hair. It is the only thing in American history where it has received funding from every president that has ever came into office. They all agree upon this one thing.
I guess if I all right.
Men love mustaches.
I feel like it'd be more so that it'd be weird to disagree. Like, no, mustaches aren't important. Like, okay.
They are historically important, undeniable.
Sure.
The same way, I suppose, female makeup is important, although I don't think it is personally.
Oh, but yes, movie Tale of Two Cities. It wasn't like amazing.
5.
It was. Yeah, I gave it a 7.
I'll give it an easy 5, only because I don't know, man. With these kind of stories, I'm like, okay, it's a love triangle. I'm all love triangled out.
That's valid. Do you want to see a goddamn Hitchcock film?
Yes.
I always love Hitchcock's films. They drag me out of the terribleness of the Depression. The 39 Steps, a thriller spy movie. I won't spoil anything about it, other than it's a Hitchcock film. It's quite good. It has its downsides though. I definitely don't think it's perfect. It's probably one of the weaker Hitchcock films.
So I love this film because it is a spy film. BT Dubs. I love spy movies. I'm not automatically fucking biased because this is one of the films I believe also which inspired James Bond.
Cue James Bond theme.
We'll get copyright striked. No.
Oh, never mind. Don't cue that.
I'm not gonna deal with that one.
Cue half a second of the Bond theme.
So, this features a number of lovely actors that we'll see later on. For example, Miss Madeline Carroll, who is a bad bitch. I'd like to imagine these people that are related to these people. It's like, oh wow, this covers my great grandmother's legacy, and all I hear is that's what bad bitch.
That's why I don't comment on
it. So she actually had a nickname called the Iceberg Maiden.
Oh.
She is the epitome of good breeding. She was made perfect, and I agree.
That's a strange way to put that, but all right.
The OG designer, baby, who will one day replace humans once it becomes financially feasible. By the way, people, you're getting replaced one day. So am I. I'm out of a gerb.
I see.
Being a human, that sucks. Oh well. But outside of that, we do have some trivias, which I will touch upon now. Before filming the scene where Hene, or rather Robert Denoy, and Pamela Madeline Carroll run through the countryside, Sir Alfred Hitchcock kept them together and pretended for several hours to have lost a key in order to put them in the right frame of mind for such a situation.
I think that would be an ethics violation in Hollywood today, but
Who cares? Everything we see about spoken for is ethics violation somewhere.
oh yeah, no, I'm just saying, but that is really funny.
Sir Alfred Hitchcock regarded this as one of his favorite films.
I can see that. I can see why you'd like that.
The 62 imported sheep, upon arriving at the soundstage, immediately went to work on the bracken and bushes that had been brought with them. This infuriated the film crew, had to replace the plants with ones hastily bought from a local nursery.
That feels like some unforeseen consequences.
Who knew that sheep like plant matter?
They eat a lot.
Yeah, who knew? You know what they should have done? Drug them.
Huh.
They should have drugged them.
I don't know if they should have. They could have.
No. This is back then times. Ethics and morals out the window. Who cares? They should have drugged them.
Imagine some very zoned out sheep.
It'd been okay. It'd been par for the time. Par for the time, baby.
But yes, I gave it a 6.
This film is a 7.
Fair enough.
Next up is Top Hat.
Oh, we only have 2 more films left. Oh no.
Oh, is that my baby? The Triumph of the Will?
Oh god, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Top Hat.
Hey, you want to talk about Fred Astaire?
I hate this film, by the way.
It was all right.
Because musical. I hate musicals. Yeah.
That's okay. That's different. I feel that. I like musicals though. Personally, that's just me.
Blame High School Musical for ruining them forever to me.
Oh, you poor soul.
All I wanted to was watch a film about basketball and romance. And all I heard was, let's get down. We're all in this together. No, we're not.
Yeah.
It was every fucking day.
I get it now. But yeah, it was. I probably won't spend long in this film then. It was an okay kind of Fred Astaire musical, screwball comedy. Not my thing.
I give it a 5 because it has some really good actresses and actors, and the film props were all good.
But it's a musical.
Yep, hate them. It's automatic 3-point deduction.
Musicals. Fuck them musicals.
Trivia time. The first time Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers had a screenplay written specifically for them.
Aw.
The Venice Canal set was so large it required 2 adjoining sound stages at the RKO Gower studio. The entire length was over 300 feet. Up to that time, it was the largest set ever built on an RKO lot.
Damn.
Oh boy. This next film is, oh boy.
Yeah.
It's made by the Homeboys. Not Homeboys. Nazis.
I was gonna say, are you homeboys with fascists?
I mean, I'm not entirely opposed to fascism if it's done right.
Oh,
It has to be done right. It has to be done right.
Gross.
Hey, I've been finding communism can be gross, but yet it's still loud. I'm not being selective, man.
I don't like either of them.
All I'm saying is we have to be equal. Ban both of them, not just one. Come on, man. No, there's actually a reason. There's actually a reason as to why communism was not banned, because they knew there would actually be a whole fucking revolt. There actually would have been a revolt if there actually was.
I guess to be fair, if you ban the fascist party, no one's gonna be like, "How dare you restrict their freedom of speech?" Considering they're literally a group defined by wanting to restrict freedom of speech.
But then we had communism, which also restricts freedom of speech. It's in their blood.
As a consequence of some of the fault of the ideology, not intrinsic.
I'm just saying it should have been equal. Anything that sounds un-American to hell, it should have been right out of here. That includes communism. But this film is infamous. Infamous.
It is often said as one of the most effective pieces of propaganda ever, and from what I know, probably was effective, though I would hazard to say probably not the most effective.
You are speaking from the lens of an American who is also English, and you need to understand the nuances of the time and also be, well, German.
Well, yeah, but I'm sure there's more effective propaganda out there.
Maybe, but that's, of course, always up for debate. But at the same time, I can see as to why this would be so hitting for Germans of this time period. I think this film...
I'd say the communist propaganda films were more effective than this, but...
I don't know. I don't know, man. I think they are too showy. That's one thing I'll say about communist films. They are very showy. Which is fine.
I probably also find this film incredibly boring because it's shot in a socialist realist style. Which is to say, it's just like, this entire film is just like, here's a house, here's a crowd, here's the big man himself, here's some people that are going to betray him in 5 years. Or 10 years, sorry.
Don't worry, they all die. They all fucking die.
Yeah. Which is probably the most surreal thing is to see all the, like, all the fascists, like, all the talking heads and all the top people of the party knowing what would happen to them.
Yep. This is one of those films where I think it is so important that was actually preserved. Because not only that, it shows things that just do not exist anymore from an actual an architectural point and also of a cultural point. People often forget. Germany has been bombed to hell. A lot of things were fucking glossed after that. This film preserved that.
Yeah.
I have a speech prepared, by the way. I in fact do. I was waiting. God. I was waiting for the day I could give a speech to triumph the fucking
God.
will.
Oh, please, no. Oh, God.
Gotta rub my damn throat. I had to relax it. Ladies and gentlemen, gather around, you spineless fucking sheep, and let me ram the truth down your glorious throats. Triumph of the will, Lenny Rochensal's cinematic juggernaut isn't just a film, it's a blazing, unapologetic monument to power and unity. Also, the sheer force of human will. You can clutch your pearls and whimper about its controversial roots all you want, you capitalist pig dogs. But that's just the bleating of cowards too weak to face the raw primal energy it unleashes. This is not propaganda. It is a lightning bolt from the gods. A visual sympathy that grabs history by the neck and screams, "Look at what we can do!" And we stop sniveling. And we all get together and march as a single cohesive unit. You think you can dismiss this masterpiece because of its context? Then you are just nothing more than a sheep of your ideologies, of your, quote, freer nations. You're not freer, you're just cogs in the machine. That's what you are. But Mr. Rosenthal didn't just film a moment. Or rather, to be Mrs. A woman did this, by the way. A woman. So progressive. She carved it into eternity with a chisel of genius. The sweeping shots of Nuremberg, the sea of banners, the thundering boots. Every frame is a fist to the face of mediocrity. A call to rise above your miserable nostalgic whining and to enter something greater. A message. A purpose. Strength. Unity. Things you soft modern slugs wouldn't understand, because you're all too busy scrolling and slobbing over meaningless bullshit that social media tosses your way. All made by bullshit media who's just trying to control your lives with some bullshit. But You'll cry morality and history like little spineless bitches like you are. But let's get real. Every great movement needs its myth, its fire, its vision. Draft of the Will doesn't just show you a rally, it becomes it. It is so fierce. You'd burn the world to ash to make it real. You think your capital democracy's intolerance can match that kind of conviction? Laughable. Laughable. This film is a mirror. You are terrified of what it shows you. Your own weakness, your lack of purpose, your own pathetic quivering in existence. Rajapal's camera does not lie. It glorifies. It takes the chaos of human ambition and makes it divine. It is truly divine, by the way. Geography, the angles, the sheer scale. It is not just art. It's a weapon. A blade that cuts through the fog of your meaningless lives. You want to call it dangerous? Good. It should scare you. It should make you tremble and question every flimsy value you cling to. This film isn't here to call you. It is here to wake you up and crush you underfoot. So stand up, you snuggling cowards, and salute the triumph of the will. Stop hiding behind your fake outrage and embrace the truth. It screams, power belongs to those who seize it. Who believe in it, who live it. This film isn't just a relic. It challenges, it dares to be more than the pathetic, divided, whimpering mess you are today. Watch it, feel it, and then you try and tell me you're not ashamed of your own meaningless insignificance. I'm not saying that last part I wrote. Yes. That can tell you how I felt about this film.
Yeah, no, I even understanding the context, it felt a little heavy-handed. And
that's the point of propaganda. You have to be heavy-handed. All of it is.
No, there's subtle propaganda.
There can be. And there is, of course. The thing is, with this film, it has to be heavy. And it is very key point in time in Germany. It has to be heavy to hit that message home. He's trying to unite the people and see his vision. That is the most important part here. It's something people often overlook. And this particular year was very important to the whole regime.
Fair. I still think it was kind of trash to watch.
This film is the chef's kiss, mostly because of the historical significance. It shows a dead ideology for the most part. It still exists in some areas. It also shows architecture that is bombed to hell and gone. It is gone forever. I love that. I do love some of the imagery they do show, and some of the shots. The woman that did this did do a good job for what she was trying to capture, and chef's kiss to her. Rest in peace, dead lady who got bombed.
I see. We can skip the trivia because we can assume what the trivia is.
There is a whole fucking lot of trivia for this film. You wouldn't think there would be, but oh boy, there is a scary amount of trivia.
I gave this film a 2.
This one gets a 10.
I see.
Yeah, it is historically one of the most important films of the night, or rather, I suppose you could say the entire 20th century. I suppose in a case. It shows you what not to do. That's the important thing here, especially if you live in a Western society. Yeah, just don't do that. If you do, at least be competent.
Yeah. It was kind of a hard watch, not just because, the main character's literally Hitler. But because, like, it's just, again, to me, without the historical context, I can watch foreign films and enjoy them, but this was boring. Not a lot happens in this film.
To give you guys some a bit more context, which was the real important part, is Germany got fucked after World War I. Big surprise if you don't know your history. And yeah, Germany got really dicked, and they didn't. So, and this is something I will say: if it wasn't for Hitler, they would not have recovered for at least another decade, or maybe even more. It's really weird saying that out loud. He rebuilt the country. That's undeniable. He built it. He rebuilt it. He rebuilt it better than it was before. The Autobahn, for example, that was his project. He made it bigger, even better. It was a great
Also,
time.
something they will not shut up about in this movie. They are so proud of it.
Yes, the Autobahn, it more or less modernized German German traffic, and it's something that's even used today. As much as they hate to
Much of the terror of tourists who have to go on the autobahn.
yeah, the Autobahn is something that is very important, and I think this film really showed how they rebuilt the country, and that's something that's this is actually why the film is so important. Is that it hits home the fact that hey, without me, the country would still be shit, and it would have still been shit. That's almost undeniable. That's what most historians actually agree with. Is that without this one horrible man, the country would not have been repaired. And thankfully, after the war, I mean, it was rebuilt by two sides. So, oh boy, did that go a certain way. We'll get to it though. Not yet.
Yeah. But that was the last film that we covered for 1935.
Get ready for
Overall,
more. Hmm?
Go ahead.
Get ready for more Nazi films.
I really want to cover that Kolstag film, or not Kolstag. Is it Kolstag?
I believe it's what it's called. Yes.
That one, that $9 million film that they made as the war was closing.
Ah.
Is it Kolstag? I don't remember when. I'll have the actual name when we get to 1945. But before we, just quickly, closing thoughts on the films in 1935. It's better, still not great.
Here's my opinion. This is really thus fucking far because we're at the halfway point of this damn decade. This is the best year of the decade thus fucking far, at least in my opinion.
I wouldn't disagree, but I would also clarify that the standards have not been super high.
Yeah, but you see, at least from my scoring, and mind you, last time I was not generous at all. I was very spiteful towards these fucking films last time. This is a very good year. I was pleased.
Like I said, I definitely think it's better. Let's see.
Now,
but
what I will say, this is the year where we saw two more 10s from me. Of course, my first 10, I believe, was Captain Blood.
Yes.
And my second 10 was Triumph of the Will. Chef's kiss. But beyond that,
time for the Aussies.
Yes, the Aussies indeed.
And the Scythes, of course.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, again, because the Oscars were kind of a fucking dud this year, I did a bunch of research, and there was some drama that happened, and maybe I'll cover it more in depth, but, the films, there was not a lot going on. So we'll just go down some of the basic categories. So, firstly, Best Actor.
Best Actor. Ooh, boy. So, of course, we should probably cover who the original winner was.
Oh, of course, yeah. I just have to find the thing because it's being a bitch. There it is. I actually want the previous year. There we go. So, the winner was Clark Gable. Oh, wait, what? Is this for 19? Oh, no, I went ahead. I went behind a year. I need to go to 1936, I think. Yes, I did. Okay. The winner was Victor McLaglen for The Informer.
I'm almost inclined to agree with their ranking. Almost.
I think Boris Karloff did an amazing performance, especially in Bride of Frankenstein.
You see, there are three names on my mind right now, and the third one's a joke, probably. First up for me is Errol Flynn. Next up is of course the original choice, which was McLagan, and finally our boy Audi. Guten Tag.
Was he even acting though?
Nah, man, he was just living his life.
He was performing, but I wouldn't say he was acting.
Well, one could say that being a leader of a whole country, is more of an act than anything. Is he
I am
really?
not that cynical.
Are they truly? So are they truly that person that you see all the time on the big screen? No.
Fair. But yeah, I think I would give it to Boris Karloff personally.
I'm giving it to Errol Flynn because his portrayal in Captain Blood was really fucking good.
That's fair. No, that's a fair point. Best actress.
Oh boy, oh boy, do I have a name for you?
Oh,
It is going to my girl, the Heveled. It's a really sexy girl who broke the damn scale earlier.
yeah, I think she gave some good performances.
Yep. Oh boy, she was really fucking good. She was in a lot of good films too.
I think I'll agree with you. Um,
It's best director, a damn thing yet on the categories.
yes. We're
Perfect.
not gonna go through all the categories because I do not care about assistant director. Uh, art direction.
Art direction.
The winner was The Dark Angel.
Hmm, really?
Yeah.
Huh. Honestly, I would have handed it to Midsummer's Night's Dream. Honestly,
Oh, 100%. I agree with you there. I think that obviously has the most striking art direction, at least that I can imagine from this year.
it's the most fucking freaky to me, at least.
Cinematography, which went to A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Now, this is where I will counter and give a very controversial one. Is to Triumph to the Will.
No, God, no. Most of the cinematography term for the will is still shots.
I stand on my claim.
Best cinematography, I would probably give to Mutiny on the Bounty because of all the exterior shots.
Beyond that, I would also potentially hand it to the Bride of fucking Frankenstein, but I'm standing on the Triumph.
Fair enough. Dance direction is a category, but I assume it's just gonna go to whatever musical came out this year.
Which was the one with the fucking Alistair guy.
There was also Fred Astaire. There was also another Broadway melody film that no one
Ew.
cares about. Directing, which went to The Informer, John Ford.
Mmm. So that's the director who won overall. Good for him. I'm handing it to Lenny Riefenstahl. Big old Lenny fan right now.
Hmm. I'd probably give Best Directing to either Mutiny on the Bounty or what was the other film? I don't know. 39. I mean, it's Hitchcock, so obviously 39 Steps. I think probably.
Mmm.
Uh, Best music, other than scoring, not like an actual song.
Best music and scoring wise. Honestly. Oh, that's actually a toughie. There was a lot of bangers.
The award went to The Informer again.
I agree with that. That's some really good shit there.
I'd probably give it to. Well, I guess Night at the Opera does have actual music in it. Probably Midsummer Night's Dream. There's some pretty just like instrumental stuff in the background. Um,
Hmm.
there's some short films we didn't watch. Writing, best writing.
Oh, that. Well, I'm gonna be real. It's there's only real two true contenders, and that goes to the Midsummer or the fucking damn Les Miserables, and they're based off literal fucking books. Like
Yeah.
full on.
I guess Les Miserables, yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess you could rate it as an adaptation.
Yeah. One day we have to include our own custom categories.
Fair. And then the
uh,
final category, best film of the year.
ooh. Oh, oh, that's so tough. It was original.
Indeed. Huh? Oh, sorry. The original winner was Mutiny on the Bounty.
Oh, 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 oh. What's tough? There's fucking free edgers.
Yeah. Uh,
Mmm. Who are you going with? Mmm.
that is incredibly difficult. I know this may be biased because I like adventure films, but it might go to Captain Blood.
I am up in the air.
I know it's not a prestige film.
I'm up in the air. Purely up in the air.
Uh,
Oh, because Captain Blood was so good. But the propaganda, Trump has been will. So strong. Ugh.
Clearly had some influence on you.
Well, it's clear. Do not forget what I am. In the historical relevance to my own family. Shit. Um, Triumph. Fuck it. Captain Blood does have an space in my heart though.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Captain Blood. Um, and that's the Aussies and the Scythes. And then we'll quickly go over to music. Uh,
Ooh, music time.
I don't know if my there it goes. So, 1935, we have songs such as Can the Circle Be Unbroken by the Carter Family, Lovely to Look At by Eddie Durchin, I think. We have a Shirley Temple song On the Good Ship Lollipop. I think that was from that movie we watched, maybe?
Might have been.
Isle of Capri by Ray Noble. Silent Night, Holy Night by Bing Crosby. You're the Top, Cole Porter. I Want to Be a Cowboy Sweetheart by Patsy Montana and the Prairie Ramblers. Top Hat, White Tie and Tails, which is from that movie we watched, by Fred Astaire. Red Sails on the Sunset, also by Bing Crosby. Yeah, and that's most of what we have. We have some country for once
So
in this year.
I am really biased because I love anything at all by the Carter fucking family. They are so good. They are very reminiscent of a certain Mr. Johnny Cash. They had so them as people are very very interesting folk, and I would not mind covering them one day. Oh boy,
I see.
yeah. So if you didn't know, Mr. Cash is obviously a country singer slash writer,
Oh yeah.
and while the Carters did folk music, which is not that far from country, not that fucking far. Um, I truly dig them as people, and I think that they had some of the best shit out this year.
Okay, I feel that. You do gotta admit the jazz was also still popping and was still getting better.
It's always popping, Oz. It's always popping. It's fucking jazz.
But you know, it's still cool as balls.
Yeah, it's the thing that dominates the entirety of this fucking decade. I imagine next decade too for a bit.
Yeah. And we get some pop music in the 50s.
Finally, that culture shit that all the people nowadays love, that old pop. Well, nah, pop's kind of falling off from its 2010 dominance.
I feel like genres in general are less of a thing, and people just listen to whatever sound suits them.
Except with the fucking rock and roll Hall of Fame.
Oh god. Oh god.
I can't wait to cover the whole fucking fight Lil Nas X had with the country people.
Oh god.
That's gonna be so great. Is that a fucking VTOL? Is that a fucking VTOL outside the fucking up in the sky? Sorry,
Oh, damn.
it's fucking VTOL outside.
Darn. But yes, that was the media of 1935. In general, things are getting better, which is generally the perception or generally the story of what's going on in at least America.
Yeah,
Not so much in Europe.
that's actually something I actually want to like look into. What was really popping off in Europe and the rest of the world in this time frame?
Depression.
Does not mean music will end because of depression. The Black Death confirmed this.
Fair.
uh, all the damn lost with its music from all the damn Black Deaths. Oh, imagine how much weirdness was going on there. Hmm. Hmm.
Perhaps, but yeah. That's the end of that.
Yep.
Um, I'm sure if not before, this episode will get us canceled.
I'm okay with that. If they don't like my opinions, they can choke on a dick.
I see.
If they don't like my opinion, they can choke on a dick. That's my stance in life forever. a big fact,
Fair enough.
a big black veiny one too. It has smegma on it.
Oh God.
Uh,
Anyways, before Scyther gets us taken down, um, if you guys made it to the end of this, truly, thank you so much. We are always, maybe not Scyther politically, but at least for in anything in reference to the show and how we produce it, we are always open to critique. At least I am.
you can critique me, but you may not like the response you get, depending on what it is.
Fair. I am always open to receive critique, and I will always try to be respectful about it. So if you have anything, any ideas for the show, please let us know. But if you do want to do all the YouTube stuff, that's just a bonus.
Yep.
And we'll see you next time.
Yep. Before I end it, I'll have to clear up. You're critiquing the damn my opinions on movies and song or whatever else. Pop off. But anything else, suck it. Bye.